Hey guys, Garage here, and to my left I have the ALLPOWERS S2000 version 2 portable power station, and I've got their 400 watt solar panels. ALLPOWERS reached out to me and they're like, hey Garage, we'd love to send you these to review. We've seen your videos. We'd like to get these on your test bench to see what you think. And I was like, cool, sounds like a plan, send it. And they're like, fine, we will. And I was like, well, do it then. And then boom, they showed up, and here we are. And we're going to be reviewing these, putting them all through their paces, checking them out. Let's see what makes them tick, see what I think of them. And I'll give you guys all the information that I think you want to know about this product. So without further ado, let's take a look. I love how utilitarian this power station is. It is built like a freaking tank. You got two fans, one on this side, one on the other side. They draw air through the unit. These handles, I actually had to test on the bottom to see if they were metal. They're so like just beefcake. I thought they were aluminum strap, but they actually are plastic. But they are built so freaking tough. The whole unit itself, I mean, man, you could throw gear on it, you can stand on it, you can do whatever you want, and it's going to hold up just fine. How do I know that? Because I'm a chonk. I'm about over 190 pounds, and I can jump on the damn thing, and it doesn't hurt it. I'm going to start incorporating jump tests in my video reviews. I'm just saying that's a technical spec I think that should be explored more. So, coming over to this side, we have a 100, well, it says 100 to 240 volt input, so that's that. 120 volt AC outlets, one cigarette lighter DC port, don't stick your finger in there like that, and we have two USB Type-Cs, four USB Type-As, one XT60 connector for your car or solar charging needs, that's the input for that. To power this unit up, we're going to press and long hold the power button, there we go. Power up the 120 volt inverter. Press and long hold the AC button. And to power up all your DC needs over here, you just press that really quick. Now, the only other feature really on this, the only thing you have to do, if you want to turn on Bluetooth so you can link it to your app, press and long hold. And that little symbol tells you that you can connect to the Bluetooth on it. Guys, that's it. It's a very simple power station. It's very easy to use. Anybody can use it. There's not a million settings, anything like that. And we will go through the app, but there's hardly any setup. It just does what it's made to do, which is provide power. That's it. It's very simple, easy to use. So the solar panel they sent me, 400 watt beast down there. I think weighs 40 pounds. It's a monster. See some of the specs. It's a little bit dirty because I was hauling it around outside playing with it. Tells you right there, point the panels at the sun. Don't point the panels away from the sun. Don't let it rain on the panels. And in here is the cable to connect it. It's inside this zippered pouch. And then we have all these like fiberglass. Okay, it's going to slide down. You have all these fiberglass legs with straps. And when you set it out, when you see me set it out in video, those are the legs that actually pull up and let you tilt the panel. So it's actually a well done unit. One person can deploy this. I did it by myself, no problem. But it does help to have two, because this thing is quite large when you fully deploy it. So also included with the S2000, this is pretty surprising. They actually give you a really nice cover for the unit. That is great to be included. What else comes in the box is you get this ALLPOWERS bag. Pretty nice. It's got these really nice silicone jacketed MC4 solar connectors, and you also get a really heavy duty XT60 car adapter to charge from your car. So they don't skimp on the accessories and what comes with this. Very nice stuff overall. So ALLPOWERS, good job. Let's take a look at the app. So we tap on the ALLPOWERS icon. This is Android, by the way. And then we're going to select Bluetooth device, because this is a Bluetooth device only, not Wi-Fi. So when you go in here, it tells you to make sure Bluetooth is turned on the phone, turn Bluetooth on the power station. It's going to scan, but all you have to do is hit the ALLPOWERS S2000. You just go ahead and touch on that little picture of the power station. And this is it for the app, guys. It gives you your battery charge level, shows you the output and input wattage. You can toggle on your AC out and toggle on your DC out, as I just did, and I'm going to toggle off the DC. You can select 50 or 60 hertz at the bottom. Up in the upper right hand corner, you can actually go into settings, and if you click on the little icon, you can change the name of the power station. There is nothing left to do in the app. That is all the functionality you get. So obviously I'm doing what I do, and I tore this thing apart and took the lid off, and you can see the handles, the actual grab handles that I thought were metal that are actually plastic, are Allen bolted on with some pretty heavy duty hardware. And you can see all the plugs, everything has nice connectors on it, XT60s and 120s. And I was laughing. These are the bolts that hold the case together. I mean, did they run over to Honda and like steal some head bolts? I mean, good Lord, that is wild that they use that for hardware to bolt this thing together. So looking it over, everything is super clean, nice and tidy. I only found one little red flag, which I'm going to address on my unit. And this is just something for ALLPOWERS that you will definitely want to watch out for. If you take a look at this wire, I was looking really close, and that silicone wire is, if my camera will focus, wow, is directly rubbing right on the edge. You can see it kind of chipped my nail there. It's rubbing right on the edge of this piece of metal. That's no good. We don't want that, because your positive and your negative are just kind of rubbing and chafing on that. So I'm going to take care of that. Other than that, typical just soldering that works, but terrible looking, kind of like a farmer's welding. Everything else, though, assembled nice and tidy. So now that I have video documented where all the plugs go so I don't mix it up when I put it back together, let's dive deeper. Let's see what's under this board. And I have it open about as far as I'm going to take it. So I misspoke earlier. I said XT120s. These are actually XT90s, the larger connectors. So we have a big mix of XT60 and XT90s throughout this unit. Again, we have our two fans, one on each side, drawing air in, blowing air out. You can just see the cells on the battery down there. This pack looks like it's rated for about 2,000 watts. It's in a 6S16P format for how they arrange the cells. Kind of can't see below that on the tag, but it's quite a chunky little battery down in here. See if we can come around here. That's all the digital display, USB ports, control, all of that stuff. Board is very well laid out. I do see one little adjustment in there. It makes me wonder if that's for voltage or current. That could be interesting. Or what it does exactly. It could do bias or something else. Looking on the back side, we have a massive heatsink on this guy. They didn't skimp. This thing is built. I'm surprised. It is much better built inside than I had figured. I mean, there's a lot of wiring that could have been done a little bit better. Just a lot of little fan wires and stuff could have been jumpered to a single header. You know, whatever. Those are little nitpicks. But this thing is actually done very, very well. I really like this inverter board. And yeah, it's holding on by a guitar string right here. So, all right, we have one other board that we removed, one whole module. I took this out. That is actually your MPPT. That is your, you can see somebody got a little bit of grease on it. That is your solar charge controller. When you look at it, it shows 630 watt rated. So it looks like they put a little bit of an overbuilt module in here. There is a fuse on the end of that. But that is pretty much it. This is actually nicely done. So like I said before, well done, ALLPOWERS. I didn't expect to find quite this when I had opened it. You can see this is actually a V2.1 on the circuit board itself. part number. If anybody can figure out why overseas companies keep building inverters at 110 volt, did they not get the memo we went to 120 a long time ago? I'm really curious on that, what their reasoning is, why so many do 110 volts still. So let's have some fun and dyno this little S2000 from ALLPOWERS. Let's see how far we can push this little inverter and see what kind of output and what the output actually looks like. So right now we're sitting at 0.8% total harmonic distortion. The waveform and noise looks absolutely fantastic on this little inverter. Everything looks really good and we're actually ready to start cranking it up. So let's see what we got here. Just note, this is going to be a power factor of 1, so this is the ideal conditions. We're already passing 790 watts. You will notice the screen is a little slow to react, but it does track very closely to the actual output, the actual draw, which I'm happy about. Waveform still looks good, kind of capturing everything here. We're at 2.2% total harmonic distortion. We just passed 1.85 thousand watts, 1.9, and we actually just passed 2,000 watts. So we're actually past its rating. We're at 2.5% total harmonic distortion. This thing looks great. Noise looks great. Waveform is perfect. We're at 2,056. We're at 2,075 watts. Just passing 2,100, and there we go. We put her in protect at 2,100 watts of draw. This inverter is rated for 2,000 continuous, so that is quite an impressive little feat. Very happy with what I see. So I've been absolutely torture testing this little ALLPOWERS. You can see we're down to 72% for a little bit. I'm running it right at its max output. So you can see on the screen we've got 1,992 watts, dropping just a little bit here. 1.97 kilowatt there. That's basically 1.98 or almost 1.99. So it's tracking fairly closely. Happy with that. Voltage is 110 volts. Concurs on my meter here, 110 volts. Sucker just runs. It's extremely clean. This is as good as it gets for a power station on an inverter. I'm very happy with this output. Let's talk about the capacity of this unit. So I was only able to test this to 990 watt hour. It's rated at 1500 watt hour. Now I did quite a few charge cycles over a couple weeks before I actually ran these numbers so I could get more real world capacity on this. And I also did the reset online where you hold the AC and DC power button simultaneously for 3 seconds to reset it and recalibrate it, and that didn't really change anything on my numbers. And about 990 watt hours what I got. Now do remember that they have a 5% buffer, so it only can discharge to 5% on this unit. And so there's still a bit of capacity on the table there. My thought is that maybe that 5% is really conservative, and maybe it's got 10, 15, 20% left. I don't really know, and there's no way for me to prove it, but usable watt hour I found to be 990. To charge this unit back up from that 5%, it took 1140 watt hour, 1.14 kilowatt hours. That gives this a charge efficiency rating of 86%. So this panel assembly comes in at nearly 40 pounds, 38 pounds. It is quite heavy, but I actually really like that because on a windy day, this thing should stay put. We're going to be testing that because today, right now, you can hear the wind chimes going. We've got quite a breeze going on. So I've admittedly not set this panel up before. Kind of got the gist of it, but let's see how easy it is to deploy. It's got these, you feel like fiberglass legs that come out. And they're velcroed really tight. That was really easy. Panels are at a good angle. They look straight. They don't look all janky like some panels all warped around. Actually looks Looks pretty good. Let me go get my solar meter and let's see what these are putting out. So testing on my panel meter, these are at quite an angle and we're getting just under 280 watts and the sun is almost directly overhead. Let me kick the legs in and flatten these panels out and let's see where we go from here. Alright, so the panels have been out for a little bit. I've got them laying flat right now, trying to get as much as I can out of the sun, which is almost straight overhead, and we have no clouds today. So as the panels have been out here, they've been slowly reducing in power because of the heat buildup. It's pretty hot out here today. And you can see power drop to 304, and I do expect it to drop just a little bit each time as these panels heat up. But these are my test results with this meter. So let me grab the ALLPOWERS power station, and let's see how that charger does, that MPPT charger that's built in, does with these panels versus my little tester here. Let's see if it's any better. All right, so as you guys can see, this thing was almost completely drained. We're at 70% charge right now. I had it at 5%. And as a protection on the S2000, once it gets to 5%, it does stop discharging, cuts off the outputs, and keeps it at 5%. That's perfectly fine and acceptable. We're charging from solar right now, and it's charging very, very quickly. So you can see there, I'm right at about 300 watts. And I do have the panels. I found kind of their optimal angle for the day right now, the time of day. And it's just with these cushions underneath them. And right now we are giving it all she's got. And again, we are right at about 300 watts. That's really, really good for just a fold out panel. And we're gonna let this run and go ahead and charge up. I am gonna grab my thermal imaging camera. I do wanna check these panels. I wanna see if we have any hot spots or if there is any shipping damage or anything like that. We're just gonna take a quick look and just see how these look to that camera. Everything is looking really good right now. You can see the red dot is dancing around to hot spots. It's a fairly warm day. It's like 82 degrees or so, but in the sun you really feel it. And the reason is, you can see on the panels, anything that's under this sun right now, Arizona sun, is getting absolutely cooked. These panels are sitting at closer to 170 degrees directly in the sunlight. But everything looks pretty uniform. I'm not spotting any red flags here. Everything looks pretty normal and pretty consistent across the panels. There's a few little warm areas, but there's nothing wrong with this. I think everything overall looks quite good. Happy with this. Another long day of testing down. And viewers, what did you think of the ALLPOWERS S2000 version 2 and the 400 watt solar panel? I'd love to hear your opinions and what you liked, didn't like in the comments. Post up. ALLPOWERS, thank you so much for sending this to me. I had a blast reviewing your gear. Now, viewers, I actually liked this ALLPOWERS gear. I see some reviewers trying to pick every little thing apart, or that they overfluff it and say it's way better than it should be. So they're trying to either pander to the manufacturers so they get more free stuff, or they're trying to just knock something for clickbait. But I'm just going to give it to you how it is. I did like this product. It works very, very well for me. I haven't had a failure. If I do have a failure, it will go in the comments below, and you will see it pinned, and we will talk about it. If it fails bad enough, then I would actually do a video on it. But so far, this thing has been rock solid with this panel. No complaints. So let's get into the pros of the power station. The most beautiful thing about this product is its simplicity. I plug in to AC to charge from the wall outlet. It's going to charge it as fast as it can freaking charge it. That's it. I plug in solar. It's going to charge it as fast as it can charge it. That's it. There's no settings to mess with. It's just so basic. If I plug them both in at the same time, it doubles the charge rate and charges even faster. I've got DC output. I turn it on and off. I got buttons on here. It's just two buttons. I can turn on the inverter. I can turn on DC. That's it. That's all it does. The app in this guy, I honestly don't even know why they made an app. I plug it in, I set it all up, and I connect it to Bluetooth, and what can I do? I can turn on the inverter. Well, I can do that from the button, and I can see my battery charge level. I can see that on the screen, and I can turn on the DC. I can do that right there too. I don't need an app for any of that stuff. Like, there's nothing, no reason that I'm going to be in a lawn chair, you know, in the range of Bluetooth, and I need to Bluetooth to this. It's just, that's how basic the product is. No firmware updates, nothing to worry about. Like, God, I go through firmware updates all the time on some of my other product. I don't need it with this. It just works. I could give this to my 80-year-old neighbor and just say, hey, dude, I wouldn't call him dude. Hey, sir, set this on your picnic table and it's going to power up and it's going to work just fine. And he'll be able to do it. He presses the power button. He presses the AC. He'll probably have to call me and say, why is it not turning on? I'll tell him, press it down and hold it for a long period of time. That's the whole conversation. It's not hard to use, and that's amazing. The solar panels, totally simple. Lay them all out. One person can do it. Better with two. One person can do it. Plug it in, and it's going to work. I liked how the solar panels, when you deployed them, they actually formed a straight line and kind of a wall. I see some of these portable solar panels, they're all wavy and janky and falling onto themselves. This one's set up very, very nicely. My only complaint on the solar panels, I'll get into the con on that, the damn Velcro they use is 10 times more Velcro and 10 times more hook and loop toughness than it needed to be. When you go to pull one of those legs out while you're trying to hold the setup up, what the heck, man? You can't get the leg off the damn Velcro, and you're pulling on it and yanking on it, and it's not coming off, and it's pissing you off, and it's hot outside. And anyway, you could get away with like 1/3 of Velcro on each of those legs, and it would be more than enough. And just saying that, ALLPOWERS, get rid of some of that Velcro. It'll save you a few pennies. But as of right this moment, this thing just works. It's going to be my go-to. If I need portable power, hey, turn back on over here. If I need portable power and I just need to grab a power station and go really quick, this is going to be my go-to. It's so simple, and I love that. So I don't have to worry about, oh, well, something broke because it needs a firmware update. Like all those little things, right? This is uncomplicated, and I do love that in this modern era of so many configurations and things that you usually have to set. Again, I do appreciate those things on certain equipment, but when I just need a power station really fast to power stuff up or use it as backup, simplicity is bliss. So anyways, guys, I'm going to go nap. I'm freaking tired. So I will catch you guys later. Peace out.